Hey, how's it going guys? Chris here, and in this video I'll be giving my full review on Evolve. It's both a cooperative, competitive first-person shooter and a third-person action game heavily focusing on multiplayer. Evolve is developed by the same guys who brought you Left 4 Dead, Turtle Rock Studios, and published by 2K Games. It's a multi-platform game available on the PS4, Xbox One and PC. I'm going to get straight to the point with this section. Evolve doesn't really have a story. Sure, there's a basic background as to what you're doing in the game, but a progressing story with a beginning, middle and ending, or even a narrative, is pretty much non-existent. The game itself is based in the future on the planet Shear, with a variety of different climates and environments that you'll be trekking through. Humans have colonised the planet, but not long after they're attacked by vicious monsters which insist on destroying the colonies. A team of hunters have set out to save the last remaining humans and wipe out the monster threats in a series of missions, and that is basically the entire plot of Evolve. It's really only there to serve as a backbone for the game, justifying your actions with a simple excuse to go hunting. If you're looking for a well-written, in-depth, deep, thoughtful story, you're not going to get it here. The idea behind the game is probably on par with plot lines from sci-fi B-movies from the 70s. As far as the characters go though, they're all very different from one another, and all have small but unique backstories behind them. Some of this you'll hear them revealing as you play in the game's dialogue. The character designs are quite strong, and though the story doesn't hold much of a narrative, the different characters are all well presented and fit well with the style of game, all with their own personalities, styles and appearances. It's also quite amusing hearing the hunters talking to each other about different subjects depending on who else is in their team. Both the game's solo and multiplayer modes consist of 4 hunter characters and 1 monster, pitting the hunters against the monster, forcing the hunters to work together as a team in order to hunt and take down the ever-evolving beast, who has to kill and eat wildlife in order to become more powerful, whilst at the same time avoiding conflict with the hunters, who are always on its tail. It's essentially a big game of cat and mouse. If the hunters manage to kill the monster, they win. Though if the monster manages to kill all 4 hunters, it's game over for the team and victory for the monster. Once the monsters reach stage 3 evolution and becomes as powerful as possible, roles are then reversed and the hunters are the ones who are at the slight disadvantage, as the monster gets stronger abilities and gains more health. Though if they've managed to inflict damage on the monster's health in earlier stages of the game, it shouldn't be as hard to win so long as the hunters work as a team and support their roles and use some clever tactics. I really like the balancing and the clever team-focused structure that has been put into the game. It's not very often that a game actually rewards you for using teamwork and using tactics to accomplish something. Evolve abandons the typical fragfest style of other so-called co-op competitive shooters and gives you an ultimate role for the match. All hunters have the ability to inflict damage on the monster to some degree, but it's far more effective if everyone uses the advantages of their own class. And in most cases, it's the only way to actually succeed in Evolve as a hunter. The 4 classes in Evolve include the Assault, Medic, Trapper and Support. The Assault has the high damage closer range weapons, and is mainly there to inflict a large portion of damage on the monster's health and armour. The Medic is there, surprise surprise, to save and heal other teammates taking the brunt of the monster's attacks. The Trapper specialises in tracking the monster and enclosing it into a portable area, often using abilities to slow down the monster, making it easier for the other classes to kill, and the support character is there to aid the other hunters, providing a cloak ability when the going gets tough, and helping out tactically by both damaging the monster and helping to locate it. These roles are all just as important as each other, and they all feel very well balanced. The absence of just one of these classes will make an obvious difference, and it's this factor of the game that gives Evolve a truly unique edge that so many co-op games fail to achieve. If your medic isn't reviving down teammates, and your trapper isn't tracking and slowing down the monster, this will impact the game greatly and put the monster at a huge advantage. Everyone helps each other out, and everyone has a job to do. The monster, on the other hand, is controlled by a single player, who must outwit and survive, constantly searching for food to evolve, and gain more power. Throughout the game, the monster is being trapped by the 4 hunters and must escape and sneak around the map, avoiding things that might give away their whereabouts. Flocks of birds scattering and a trail of animal corpses are dead giveaways as to the location of the monster, and of course if you run, you leave a trail of footprints behind which the hunters can follow. being smart about your map navigation, sneaking to hide, footprints, and overall, leading your enemies on a wild goose chase is all important while you go ahead on your little quest to become an almighty powerhouse. It can be really tense at the start of rounds as the monster, but over the match as you gain better abilities and more strength, you gain confidence. And once you evolve to stage 3 after a good few meals into the match, you're actually strong enough to destroy the hunters and win the game, providing you're smart with the abilities and you haven't taken a huge toll on your health already. Most matches usually end in an epic battle between both hunters and the monster, and it's usually here in which most of the action takes place. Games can be long-winded, especially against a good monster player, but when both monster and hunters battle it out, the fights can be frantic, chaotic, but at the same time, a load of fun. There's 4 game modes overall, with the main one being Hunt. This is where your monster starts from scratch at stage 1 and must survive until stage 3 or even 2, where they can then go and kill the hunters. And at stage 3 they can destroy the power relay if the hunters are hiding on the other side of the map. Another is Nest, where there's 6 eggs located around the map that the hunter team must destroy. The monster has to stop them and can actually hatch the eggs to spawn minions to help kill the hunters. Defend is another mode where the stage 3 monster must take out generators that are guarded by the hunters, and ultimately destroy a ship's refueling station. The monster also has waves of smaller minions to help. And there's also Rescue, where the hunters have to protect and revive fallen colonists whilst the monster aims to kill them. Though all 4 modes have different objectives, I can't help but feel that they're all basically the same, but with slight variations. I think a bit more creativity here could have done the game more justice, and I found that Hunt was the most fun out of all of them, as it actually felt like a proper hunt. The game looks good, but I wouldn't say the visuals look anything beyond what we've seen before. There's some good particle effects here and there, when the monsters use some of their abilities, but I'd say the graphics are on par with games we've seen in the past couple of years. The frame rate seemed fine, especially with all the crazy powers and frantic battles between the hunters and the monster. Draw distances felt good too, as you can clearly see into the distance. The monster designs and models look pretty well detailed. There's also some clear distinction between the evolution stages, and the monster models look far more menacing as they progress throughout the matches. There's also some nice damage on the monsters, cuts, blood and scarring as they've been exposed to the hunters' weapons and vicious wildlife. So overall the graphics look good, but nothing really special. Evolve is quite a colourful game, featuring dense climates, exotic alien wildlife and harsh terrain. It definitely feels as though you've been taken to a foreign world. The maps in which the gameplay all takes place all feel as though they're a good size, big enough for the monster to hide and escape, but small enough for the hunters to track and ambush the monster. The balancing in Evolve feels really well done, as it's one of the most important things in the game, due to the fact that the balancing is a huge pillar for the game's core. Without it, Evolve would have crashed and burned, as the entire game revolves around being a balanced experience for both the hunters and the monster. The overall style of the game leans more towards a cartoonish, laid-back approach, with the characters seeming more humorous than serious. The look and feel of the game is set with an animated movie tone rather than something super realistic looking. And that's not a bad thing either. I feel as though the tone actually gives the game some character. One annoyance with the game's unlock system is that the characters and monsters are locked until you've gained enough experience with specific classes. I think more leverage could have been implemented here, giving the player more choice as to what to unlock and when. The whole idea of Evolve is to experience the different playstyles and come up with new strategies and tactics between the classes, and I think that a better system allowing more choice would have allowed this and kept the game flowing a lot better. It's quite annoying to have to grind as a specific character just to unlock another. Normally this isn't a big deal, but the fact that Evolve is designed around one main concept, being switched around with different ability combinations, sort of defeats the object, and means that you'll be playing a lot of matches that feel very similar to each other until you unlock newer characters to play around with. Evolve is a game practically made for multiplayer. Though you can play the game alone, multiplayer is where it really shines. Being able to coordinate attacks, work on strategies and play as a team as the hunters, or work on survival and outsmarting your opponents as the monster. There's a surprising amount of depth to the game, and a huge amount of team combinations and tactics that are just waiting to be worked out and used amongst groups of friends. Everyone must work as a team in order to take out the monster, and in some cases, I guess if you're playing in random lobbies, other players might frustrate you with their lack of team play, but most of the time I find that everyone supports their role as they should. At the start of every match you can choose your preferred class, and so some people might pick a role in which they're more comfortable and have more knowledge about. It's also good fun for the monster too, knowing that 4 of the players are seeking you out whilst you try and sneak around them. I suppose the game is only as long as a piece of string. It can vary between different people. Some of you might choose to put hundreds of hours into the game, whereas others might only want to play it for a few. There's 4 modes, 3 monsters, 12 characters, and a ranking and unlock system. As far as a single player campaign is concerned, there really isn't anything to set out and complete. The game is all structured around the game modes and matches. If you want to unlock everything in the game, it'll probably take you a long while. At first, I thought there was a bit of a lack of content, as the game doesn't actually feel all that huge. But the more I played, the more I became addicted and understood that the game is more about the unique concept of hunting in different ways, rather than playing with a large bunch of maps and modes. There's more monsters and characters coming as paid DLC, so if you enjoy the thrill of Evolve, you can fork out more money for that. It would have been much nicer to have them for free, but I guess there's no escape from paid DLCs these days. At least future maps will be free, and this will extend the game further into the future. So as long as DLCs don't add anything overpowering, the base game feels like a fairly complete experience. So, Evolve is a very different kind of game, and if you don't play well with others, you're probably best skipping this one. But if you're prepared to work as a team, or ready to take on a team, using your brain more than your trigger finger, and ready to experience some thrilling hunts like you've probably never seen in a game before, then Evolve just might be worth checking out. It would have been nice to have a bit more of a story, perhaps even more lore around the universe that the game takes place in, or more of a plot. But it's clear from the start that the game isn't trying to win any awards for its storytelling. The whole ranking and unlock system is a bit restricting, as it doesn't let you explore the game's many styles until later on. The tense stalking and epic battles might be enough to keep you satisfied for a while, though be warned, the game can be a bit repetitive in the sense that you're mainly doing the same thing over and over, but it's the variety of combinations and tricks you learn as you do it that turns Evolve into a cool concept. It was a tricky idea to pull off, but I do believe that this game does what it set out to do, giving a refreshing co-op experience that actually requires a team to work together. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to my channel to see all my other reviews, guides, tips and upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.